So John, one of the big differences between the original storage architecture and the express storage architecture is resilience. How much more durable the express storage architecture is.
So yeah, we talk about availability, which is, there's an outage, but durability is frankly a lot more important. This is about making sure we don't lose data and that we're not having to go to our backups or go to our DR site and things like that. And OSA was very durable, but there were some shared fault domains, some constructs. Like in a disk group, if we lost our cache devices, Pete's demonstrating here, we lost that entire disk group. And so we had less capacity that would be available in terms of that. And so if you had a host with two disk groups, you lost one cache device, you'd lose half of basically the availability for placement of data on that host. As opposed to ESA, where we no longer have disk groups, there are no longer dedicated cache devices. And a failure of a drive is just that. It's a failure of that drive, and that's it. And if you look at some of the implementations of this, you can have up to 90% less data has to move around to resynchronize and repair from that failure operation.
Indeed, it's not just this reduction in overall of a failure domain, but rather the improved performance to regain that prescribed level of resilience. So when you think about the comparison here, where we have, in this case, half of our available storage resources for that host would be offline if you had a storage device fail versus just 12% in this case. We also have to remember that the express storage architecture may be 2 to 3 to 4 times faster than the original storage architecture. So you being able to regain that prescribed level of resilience is really the key capability behind the express storage architecture.
Yeah, it's less data that needs to be resynced. And to summarize, it's also much faster in that smaller amount of data that has to move.
Yeah. And when we think about resilience, it's not just when a failure occurs, but let's say we have a situation here where you have a maintenance event. Where we need to remove a storage device, there's an impending failure, or we've been notified of some issue with that storage device, but it's still functional. We can perform a maintenance event on this, and it has a much smaller impact zone as you would in comparison to the original storage architecture.